respected chairpersons and my dear colleagues and my dear friends from GMC, my batchmates. It's really the feeling that I am having, I just can't express. To get a chance to speak in front of your friends and your colleagues. And I am extremely thankful to organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak on this slightly deviating topic. Apart from our obstetrics and gynec, I am going to talk on yoga and menopause. I think we had a complete session on menopause. So I'm not going to talk much about menopause. We all know that menopause is a physiological transition which is characterized by depletion of ovarian follicles, loss of menstrual cycles, decreased estradiol production, and because of this, appearance of menopausal symptoms. Now the exact event which triggers menopause, it is controversial. But one thing is sure, the normal regular pulsatile GnRH secretion which is there in the fertile period, this, which leads to normal menstrual cycle, this is distorted when the menopause approaches. And it has been observed that there is a supraventricular nuclei and the GnRH neurons, they are showing extensive arborization. There is deterioration of neuropeptide expression when the menopause appears. And this all is characterized by the typical menopausal symptoms like hot flushes, anxiety, irritability, mood swings, sexual problems, headache and whatnot. And we all know that because the reason is estrogen deficiency, for the severe symptoms, HRT is undoubtedly helpful. But again, there are studies which are showing that there is increased risk of CA breast, uterus, increased risk of venous thrombosis with HRT, and thus we were in search of some other medicine or some drug which can be helpful. Plus, when a patient is kept on HRT, there is always an increased anxiety. This is because patient has to be under continuous monitoring. She has to go yearly, annually for mammography, for ultrasonography, and there is always a fear in the mind. So the present need is to explore alternative therapeutic avenues. We all know phytoestrogen is a good option. And the current recommendation for management is lifestyle management, diet changes, exercise, drugs, and now yoga. Now what is yoga? Yoga is, many of us having many misconceptions about yoga. We always think yoga means only those yoga asanas, but it is not like that. The concept of yoga is there is a union of mind and body. So whatever you are doing, whatever you are thinking, it has to be united with mind. Besides that, studies on applied relaxation have shown that this yoga helps in reduction of hot flushes, anxiety and depression. And it is not now hypothesized, it is now proved that yoga reduces the clinical symptoms of climacteric. This is our traditional medicine which is 4,000 years old. And the aim of our medicine, traditional medicine, is to maintain the health of healthy person and relieve the sufferings of one who is unhealthy. Swasthasya swasthya rakshanam, aturasya vyadhi parimokshanam. So yoga, what is yoga? Actually in Marathi, or according to us, it is yoga. But English people have made it yoga. So we are writing every time yoga, yoga. So what is yoga? Yoga is a spiritual philosophy which has been used as a therapeutic tool now to achieve positive health, to control and to cure diseases. Many a times it is not the sole treatment, it is used as a complementary measure. The exact mechanism of action, how it acts, is not known, but probably it acts through neurohormonal pathway that it is said. And yoga leads to normalization of the pathological state. There is a control of counter-regulatory mechanism. It has been observed that in patients with diabetes, it will reduce the cortisol level. In patients with bronchial asthma, there will be increase in the cortisol level. So it controls the altered hormonal balance. Normally when we speak of, as I have told you, ki yoga means either asana or pranayama and dhyan. I am very much thankful to Ramdev Baba. He has introduced every household with this yoga. But yoga does not include only asana or pranayam. There are 8 limbs of yoga. Ashtanga yoga it is called as. Besides these asanas and pranayama, it includes yam, niyam, pratyahar, dhyan, dharana and samadhi. The yam and niyam, I am going to talk a little about yam and niyam because we know, all of us know asana. Of course, I am going to highlight about the asanas, but yam, niyam are the combined constitute the personal and social aspects of good conduct. These are to be practiced individually. And as we approach menopause, till menopause, everyone is so busy in the professional life and family life, and suddenly there is a break. Plus there is a change in the environment at home, there is a change in physics, there is a change in hormonal balance, and all this leads to stressful factors and so the diseases related to stress. So this is the time of introspection. What are the factors which are involved in yama, which are included in yama? Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya and aparigraha. We have to learn to adopt to this kind of thinking. So what is ahimsa? Ahimsa doesn't mean only physical violence. It also includes the mental or psychological violence. One should try to see to it that everyone is loved and you are not hurting anyone, even psychologically. Second thing is satya. One should always speak truth, right truth, believe in truth. I don't think anyone has to teach us this, but we know ourselves, how much truthful we are to others and to ourselves. Then asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Everyone will say, I am not stealing anything from anyone, so it does not hold true for me. But remember, even using other person's presentation without the knowledge of that person is also you are not practicing the asteya. Then brahmacharya means observance of strict discipline and sexual indulgence. And aparigraha, this here I want to tell you. One has to learn aparigraha means non-greedy. 100 साड्या असतील तरी सुद्धा मला कॉन्फरन्स करता आता ही साडी घ्यायची आहे 101वी किंवा लग्नाला जायचं आहे, माझ्याजवळ काहीच कपडे नाही आहेत, पूर्ण कपाटं ओसंडून वाहत असतात. पण परिग्रहाची आपल्याला सवय आहे. एक घर असलं तर नाही, मला आता माझा बंगला हवा आहे, बंगला नसेल तर मग आता मला माझं फार्म हाऊस हवं आहे, हे संपतच नाही. सो दिस इज द टाईम नाउ वी हॅव टू लर्न की ऑल दीज थिंग्स डू नॉट मॅटर मच. सो वन हॅज टू लिमिट वन्स डिझायर्स. Coming to niyam, though the yamas consist of prohibitions and abstentions, the niyama, it tells about ourselves, how to interact with ourselves. It includes again 5 factors: shauch, santosh, tap, swadhyay and ishwar pranidhan. Shauch means cleanliness, internal as well as external. You have to get rid of your desires. Santosh, be satisfied with what you have, how much practice we have. Then tapa means capacity to face all the odds and difficulties in the performance. Stand for the right. Righteousness is very important. That is tapa. Then swadhyay, you have to study good literature which guides us towards good values and moral conduct. Ishwar pranidhan, we know whatever we do, everything depends on the Supreme. These organizers might have worked a lot, tirelessly, for complete 1 year, but this doesn't mean that the conference will be successful. There is a supreme power which is there. Anything can happen. Amravati band ho sakta hai, lights ja sakte hai, the technical problems can be there, anything can go wrong. So whatever happens, you have to accept it and surrender to the Supreme. That is important. This doesn't mean you have to stop working. You have to give your 100% and leave everything to the Supreme. Very little systematic, and these are the limbs which we are not talking about. We talk only about asana and pranayam. That is why I wanted to highlight these important factors. So very little systematic and objective evaluation is done till date in our country. But now Western countries are doing a lot on yoga. A lot of research is going on on yoga in Western countries. The exact effect, the exact mechanism of action we don't know, but they have observed that there are changes in the cell shape and it can lead to altered gene regulation also. Even our API textbook of medicine has a complete chapter on yoga, and they have given the list of different trials which are conducted in asthma, diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and even in menopausal symptoms. I myself had conducted a research paper on effect of yoga on menopausal symptoms. We had given a newspaper advertisement. There is a yoga mandal, Yoga Abhyasi Mandal, Janardhan Swami Yoga Abhyasi Mandal at Nagpur, which gives free yoga services. So we had given a newspaper advertisement that we will be conducting a camp and research on menopause. 180 women participated in that, and then they were randomized. One group was the MRS score, that is menopause rating score, was calculated on the scale, and then one group was made to conduct yoga under supervision for 3 months, and the other group was asked to come after 3 months for the same camp. And at the end of 90 days, again this MRS score was calculated, and it was observed that there was difference in the MRS score. So coming to asana, asana is union of mind and body. When someone performs asanas, the mind should go. So one should always perform asana with closed eyes, so that your mind goes to that. It is not necessary that one should attain the complete posture, because this is the common excuse which is given. आता आमचं वय झालेलं आहे, जॉईंट्स दुखतात आहेत, हे दुखतं आहे, आमचं शरीर साथ दे नाही, आम्ही कसं करणार आहे आसन. पण it is not the complete posture that is important, but it is the what you have to do is you have to think. By keeping your eyes closed, your mind should be taken to that organ, and you perform asanas by your mind. The various asanas which are recommended are Bhujangasana, Naukasana. These were the asanas we used to make these women perform. Sarvangasana, Shashankasana, Naukasana. And one more myth is there. People always say, we are doing exercise, we are going for a walk. What is the need for yoga? Yeah, there is a difference between yogasana and exercise. With exercise, only body is involved. With yoga, there is involvement at mind as well as body. Exercise is fast, yoga is slow. The heart rate, respiration, circulation, everything remains normal with yoga. With exercise, there is increase in everything. Energy is increased with yogasana. After exercise, you feel fatigued and tired. There is no change in weight as against the myth that is there, yogasana will reduce your weight. There is no reduction in weight, but with exercise, yes, it can be there. With yoga, there is slight tension on muscles. There is involvement of parasympathetic system. With exercise, there is effect on sympathetic system. There is no age bar for yoga. Exercise cannot be conducted by very old people. There is no need of any equipment, can be done anywhere by anyone in any season, but there are restrictions to exercise in that matter. We also made these women to perform pranayam. Pranayam is just concentrate on your breath by closing your eyes. That's all. So we made them perform pranayama, and we also made them dhyana. It is very difficult. Even people who have reached a very high position are not able to achieve dhyana, but we used to make them chant Omkara. And the result, we found that on day 90, the change in the MRS score of our women in the study group was significantly, there was a significant difference. But in the other group, which did not perform yoga, there was no difference. This proved that the yoga is effective in relief of menopausal symptoms. So to conclude, we can say that our women, they do suffer from menopausal symptoms, but they are not aware, and so they keep on suffering rather than taking drugs. Yoga is the best option to overcome menopausal symptoms because it is cheap, universally available. It can be performed at any time, at any place, by any person without any side effects. There is no need of monitoring and no fear of risk. Thanks.